Hey, guess what we're doing this week? We're gonna make a screen printing setup. Yeah, we're making a screen printing setup for some t-shirts that I'm making for you. Watch this week's episode. All right, so the first step I'm going to do, I'm going to make a frame. It is getting kind of dark outside, and I do have my shed. I'm not going to show you my shed because it's a little dirty right now, or my carport. But I'm going to make a frame. So I came out here looking at my extra wood because I always save my wood. So this is my shed. As you can see, it's more of a storage. But I always save my extra wood. Now I'm gonna make I don't know, what do you call it? Screen printing machine, I guess. I have a bunch of 2x4s, which I'm gonna use. I've got some plywood out here somewhere. I've got like just all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna grab whatever I've got in here, and then I know what I need to go find or purchase. But it's all about the DIY and doing it on a budget, right? So I just need to look through all this. So let me do that. All right, so apparently you can use whatever you want to for your frames, and I'm going to use these 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. That's what these are. Okay. Measure both of them, Jay. You can use an old picture frame. You can use 1 by 1. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could pretty much use anything. 2 by 4. They're awfully heavy, but you could use 2 by 4s. And I was talking to a friend of mine who does a lot of artwork. She's actually an art teacher in my school, where I teach kids how to cook. And she told me to do a 15 by 18. Now, these are 1 3/4, so I need to add 1 3/4 to the 15 and to the 18. Actually, I should have added 3.5. Just to the 16, not to the 18. So it'd be 16 3/4. So let's think about this. Actually, I can do 16 3/4 and then do 2 18s. And I'm going to use a triangle, a square. Make sure that I get the line straight. All right, that's my 16 3/4. Let me go ahead and cut that. Whenever you go to Home Depot, buy a tool. So today's 4th of July. I bet you could figure that out with all the fireworks going off in the background. And then I need my 2 18s. So this is 1. So this is where I figure out that my 2 pieces of wood are not the same size. This just goes to show you, make sure you measure everything. So what I'm doing here is I'm going ahead and getting my length correct. I'm rotating the wood so I could get both sides cut, so I can cut all the way through it. Then what I'm going to do is set it down beside the smaller piece of wood, mark a line straight down the side, and then I'm going to rip it off with the circular saw so I can get the same size pieces of wood, both at 1 3/4 inches, I believe. See, I'm looking right here and I noticed that they're not the same size. Alright, I need to cut this, make sure I got this at 18. So I've got my two 18s. Then I'm going to take my 16 3/4 and put them on the outside. So that will be my frame. So now I just need to attach it. See if I got this right. No, I did not. So it's going to end up being a 13.5 by 18. Oh well. So I need screws that are going to be long enough to go through both sides. So they need to be able to go from here to here. Now I'm only going to put one screw in each corner. When I put the screen over top tomorrow or whenever the screen comes in, that's going to stabilize the whole screen itself. So I'm going to go get some screws. So I'm going to kind of line it up. Actually, yeah, I'm going to line it up and then go and then shoot straight for the middle here. Because since these are even, they're the same size. When I was making this video, I didn't realize how loud those fireworks sounded, and they actually sound like gunshots. But I promise, they're not gunshots. Right in the center. This is actually good to do because this will keep me from cracking the wood. All right, put my driver back in. Good tools will save you time in the long run because you can do quick change. So let's start these. Oops. So if you want to, you could go to the thrift store and get picture frames. If you don't have old wood, you can even buy, if you want to, you could buy frames, Amazon, or go to the, Joann's or wherever, and buy your equipment, or buy your equipment. But the whole point of this channel is to make things from scratch, right? That's why I'm going to buy only what I need, and the rest I'm going to make. Like I'm going to make the frame for this, as well as so this is the frame for the screen, and I'm going to make the frame for, or not the frame, the machine, I guess. I'm going to make the machine. Okay, either way, so that's my frame. That is the frame. All right, so I want you to think about a printing press. I'm gonna add a picture to this. I got this from a YouTube video, but you're gonna have a long arm on the bottom, which is gonna be this, 33 inches. Then you're gonna have two cross members at 16 inches each. So I was in a super big hurry because the sun was going down and all the gunshots happening around me. And you'll see in a second where I figure out my mistake. But the sizes are the same. It's two 16s and a 33. But the two 16s are actually feet. They're not for...
oh, there it is. It's right
putting the screen frame on.
These two are at 16, so I'll cut these. All right, so in the video, he says to use a 2x6 for my I don't even know, can't remember what you call it, for the long piece, which is basically your stabilizer. And I'll need to come back and sand these later, but for now, so I'm going to have my stabilizer piece like this. The screen will fit on top of this right here. Actually, I think I need a third 16-inch piece. I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about. Now, I'm waiting on a few parts like some hinges. And then all the ink and stuff like that, transparencies and whatnot. Alright, so I need to I'm gonna find the middle point on these. So these are 16, so let's mark the 8. The middle point on this as well. So this is actually 3.5 inches, so that would be 1.5, 1 3/4 is the half. 2x4 is not actually 2x4. All right, so let's just mark this real quick. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right, okay. So our middle line, and then we're gonna take the same 3-inch screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill some holes, some starter holes for this. So my 3-inch screws. Since I'm only using one drill, I'll go ahead and do all those pilot holes first, and then I'll come back and put my driver in. So I will need, there's one other thing that I do need to find, and that is a piece of plywood. They say to use Formica, but I think we can use plywood. Alright, so the size of my frame is 16 by 21, so I'm going to do the same size there. So I've marked it at 21 inches across. I'm going to take my 16-inch, let me make sure it's 16, yeah, 16-inch piece, and I'm going to use a 16-inch 2x4. The line go from mark to mark, so I'll know what my 16 inches is. And then I'll come over here and make a 16-inch mark. Actually, come to the middle, make a 16-inch mark since it's 21. And then I'll go from the mark I have at the bottom to the middle, and then do the same thing at the top. And I've got my square. Like this mark right here. And then that is the square I have to cut out. All right. All right, so it looks like I'm gonna have to get a second 2x4. I don't know if this is gonna be, looks like it's rocking a little bit. You see that? So I think I'm gonna get a second 2x4 to run it lengthwise. But now I'm gonna take actually, so I was a little confused. So these are going to be the feet. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving this down to where it has a decent footing. So I'm just separating these two boards. And dropping this down. So this will be, those will be the feet, right? Then this board, which is they call the bed, will go here. Then I'll have a board here to hold the clamps. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to work because of the thickness of my board, but we're gonna go with it for now because this is what I have, right? And then we need to do the same thing here. I just want to make sure that it is even. So we got 16 inches, so I'm gonna mark the 8. Mark an 8 on the cross member. I'll mark it twice so I have enough room to, ooh, hold on, what did I do? I didn't do something right, but that is not surprising. I just want to make sure that I get it right in the middle of the board so it's even on both sides. Before I attach it. All right, okay. Now I need to find some screws, some shorter screws, because the 3-inch screws will not work. Aha! So I took these screws out of the board that I salvaged for the frame. They're self-tapping. And they're rounded. So I do need to get them below the surface side. See if I can hollow that out a little bit. There we go. That's below the surface. Okay. So we're almost there. So what I'll do is I'll take this go ahead and hollow it out. There we go. Okay. So that's that board, and then we'll take this board, and this will be what our clamps will attach to. Okay. So let's look at this. This is what we got going on. So the screen will be held on by two clamps right here that will allow it to be lifted, rotated up. The t-shirt will go down on this pad right here. So I'll just stretch the t-shirt over the outside and then put the screen, drop the screen down, put the ink on, and that's it. We'll go through the process of making the screen tomorrow. And then I'm gonna round these off with a sander. It looks like the edges will catch. So all of this will get sanded as well. But that is basically it. That is the bed for screen printing. And that was pretty easy. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was just a quick down and dirty. So we basically did the screen. We made the outside of the screen. We'll finish that in the next video. We made the printing bed or machine, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to sand that, and I'll show you that in another video as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you'd like to help out the channel, you can go to either go down below and look. There's Venmo, PayPal. And I'll tell you more about the giveaway of the t-shirts in the next video. Thanks a lot. Have a great one.